standing ground, a spiritual reflection. I will not be cornered, I declare with the weight of conviction settling deep in my bones, even as the opposition advances with their calculated steps and practiced maneuvers. The ground beneath my feet may shift, but my resolve remains anchored to something far more enduring than their momentary victories. I have grown weary of those who claim enlightenment, who wave their awareness like a banner while missing the very essence of what true awakening means. These self-proclaimed awakened ones gather in their circles and sects, speaking in borrowed wisdom and recycled revelations, but this hollow performance bears no resemblance to the genuine spirituality I have known. Their version feels manufactured, a spiritual theater where the actors have forgotten they are playing roles. Behind their practiced smiles, I see the machinery of manipulation at work. Their grins stretch wide but fail to reach their eyes, revealing the emptiness behind their facade. They pepper me with questions that circle back on themselves, each inquiry designed to trap me in admissions of weakness or defeat. They want me to speak aloud my own diminishment, to voice the very doubts they seek to plant in my mind. But I recognize these tactics for what they are: psychological warfare dressed in the language of concern. I find myself thrust into the role of teacher, though I never asked for this position. The question haunts me: can anyone truly educate the spirit that dwells in isolation, reaching out to those who believe their partial understanding constitutes complete wisdom? Perhaps there is a way, some method I have yet to discover, to bridge the gap between genuine insight and manufactured enlightenment. Somehow, through circumstances I could never have predicted, I have landed in this strange psychological terrain where I stand in stark opposition to what appears to be a minority that has gained majority influence. The dynamics are twisted, the power structures inverted, and I find myself defending truths that once seemed universally accepted. But here is what they fail to understand, what their surface-level awareness cannot penetrate: God's favor still rests upon me like a protective mantle. Divine protection surrounds me, creating a barrier against the more sinister forces that work through these seemingly benign encounters. This is not mere wishful thinking or desperate hope, it is a lived reality that sustains me through each confrontation. Let me speak plainly to anyone who will listen: if you wish to avoid finding yourself surrounded by enemies wearing friendly faces, if you want to preserve your connection to the kindred spirits who truly understand, then you must honor your inner guidance from the very beginning. Those small, unexplained thoughts that drift through your consciousness, those quiet nudges that seem to come from nowhere, do not dismiss them simply because others do. Pay attention to these whispers of wisdom, even when they contradict popular opinion or challenge comfortable assumptions. Too often, we allow the skepticism of others to override our own inner knowing, trading authentic insight for social acceptance. But in doing so, we lose touch with the very source of our spiritual strength. I must acknowledge the delicate balance here. There is a crucial distinction between genuine spiritual guidance and the symptoms of poor mental health. We must learn to discern between the two, neither dismissing everything as mere psychological disturbance nor accepting every stray thought as divine revelation. This discernment itself is a skill that must be cultivated with patience and wisdom. Yet here is the paradox that the self-proclaimed enlightened ones miss entirely: sometimes the most profound nuggets of wisdom emerge from the most unlikely places. Truth has a way of surfacing through cracks in our certainty, through moments of vulnerability that our ego would prefer to hide. The divine voice often speaks through our brokenness, not despite it. The path forward requires courage, the courage to stand alone when necessary, to trust inner guidance over external pressure, and to remain open to wisdom regardless of its source. It demands that we stay rooted in authentic spiritual practice while remaining vigilant against those who would use our openness as a weapon against us. In this psychological battleground where awareness has been weaponized and spirituality has been commercialized, the only true sanctuary lies in our direct relationship with the divine. No amount of manufactured enlightenment can substitute for this genuine connection, and no earthly opposition can sever what God has joined together. The fight continues, but I do not fight alone. The same divine protection that shields me from visible enemies also guards against the subtle corruptions that would turn my own spirit against itself. In this assurance, I find not only comfort but the strength to continue standing firm, even when the ground shifts beneath my feet.